A major security breach for DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, the department confirming that her bag, which had $3,000 cash inside, was stolen while she was eating Easter dinner at a D.C. restaurant last night.
She was eating Easter dinner, we understand, with numerous members of her family, about 6 or 7 people present in a popular downtown D.C. restaurant. Of course, everywhere she goes is with Secret Service, but somehow, in the middle of even having a Secret Service detail there, someone was able to steal her purse. And inside, you mentioned the $3,000. I think that's kind of the most jaw-dropping. We asked DHS why she had that much cash. They said that she got this out to be able to spend it on things like Easter gifts and dinner for her family. Not exactly clear why there was cash needed for that. We've reached out to Secret Service, just like we would whenever there's a security breach like this. They're referring all questions back to DHS, which of course does oversee Secret Service. But yeah, a lot of unanswered questions and some head scratching about this situation.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem got on Easter Sunday for her purse, security badge, and a bunch of cash, despite being surrounded by Secret Service. Watch how she responded to being about $3,000 lighter.
Our Michelle Sandor was in a unique position today at the White House Easter egg roll to be able to ask Kristi Noem about this as soon as it happens.
Do you have any feedback on your purse being stolen? No, I don't think I can comment on it yet. Okay. I'm sorry that happened, first of all. We have each with the NBC News. We're just concerned that we're worried about that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's not resolved yet, but thank you.
Okay. Do you know if the Secret Service has any leads on it or anything?
I haven't talked about it. Thank you.
Kristi Noem seems to always come off as either petrified or clueless when she says or does anything publicly. But since she said it's in the hands of Secret Service, it's a good thing Republicans railed on the agency's failures during the campaign for the sake of pushing the narrative that women just suck at it.
This is exactly what you were doing today on the call.
Stonewalling attempt. You owe the people answers. You owe President Trump answers.
The problem is you've got a Secret Service, at least in my opinion, and in the public's eye, that is compromised and that it lacks in leadership. We've got to get some answers. I don't think we're going to get them during this administration, but hopefully under the Trump administration, we'll clean this rat's nest out.
We know that being politically correct and the DEI got us Kamala Harris as a vice president. Yeah. And now we know that so many different industries have been hurt. Is this part of the process? When you have the DIA director saying, when you have the Secret Service security director saying this about her goals for the agency, listen.
We need to attract diverse candidates and ensure that we are developing and giving opportunities to everybody in our workforce, and particularly women.
Her goal was 30% of the force being women. Why? Just get the best people, for goodness sakes.
What does DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, have to do? Was it the best agents or was it DEI that placed those agents there? I hate to say it. I saw some agents that looked like they didn't have a clue.
I got to tell you, they keep saying the Secret Service was great. God bless them. I'm sure they had the best of intentions. I watched a woman trying to put her gun in, and
I've been pinged by so many viewers tonight about that scene, and it's and you and I, in our own way, have been trailblazers, right? In our fields, and we support women in all positions. Of course we do. But when it comes to shielding the body of someone who is 6'3", something like that, he's a big guy.
Yes.
And shielding him, you can't do it if you're 5'5".
That's right.
Now, I wonder if a bunch of Republican senators and news anchors are going to run up on the current head of the Secret Service to ask why he has incompetent agents that couldn't even protect Kristi Noem's purse from being snatched out right from under her at dinner. There should maybe be an entire movement of calling for his ouster and speculation on whether or not he was involved in stealing it, since not that many people could have known that she was planning to make it rain after dinner.
But also her badge, and that's really where you get into the security part of this. And so we're reaching out to see if they've turned off that badge, because of course you can use those to access buildings or even electronics in some cases. Another question again about how people are protecting their access to secure information and how detailees are being protected. Of course, we always want to know the answers, especially after the major breach last summer against President Trump with the assassination assassination attempt.
Yeah, just to go back to the badge for a quick second, I very much remember when I got my hard pass, is what we call it, when I was White House correspondent. And I remember the senior producer at the White House basically looking me in the eye and saying, you guard this with your life. You do not lose this. You do not ever not know where it is. But they should have the ability in this case, right, to deny access. They have the electronic capability of doing that. But it is, even though it is a security concern.
Yeah, absolutely. We just haven't gotten to that piece yet. She said it's an ongoing issue. I'm sure that there's a way to deny access to the building. I think it's really just surprising for people to realize this is the kind of thing you can carry in your purse. It can be stolen out of a restaurant, even with Secret Service around you. And we should say for a lot of government employees, they also use those badges to plug into computers to be able to access information.
It's not a good day for administration officials when it comes to revelations about potential breaches in security. Now, the Defense Secretary Hegseth was exposed for his continued use of the Signal app to brag to his wife, brother, and personal lawyer about those same attack plans last month. I mean, we already knew they were incompetent, but the extreme degree of irresponsibility shows they actually don't consider the risks, despite their constant drumbeat of preaching that their ability to keep things secure and safe. There's a good chance that all this tough guy talk and gun-toting is just a big facade.
Here we are with Marco and Brian today. They're letting me roll with them. We're going to go out and pick up somebody who I think is got charges of human trafficking. We earlier had an op that swept up somebody who was wanted for murder. So appreciate the good work that they do every day, and we appreciate them working to make America safe.